Trailer episode update number 1. We finally had fabrication done, so we're going to go and pick the trailer up shortly. It's all been powder coated and the frame is made ready to start all the woodwork. Then we've got stuff like these. New tyres, we've got toilets, we've got water stuff, air vents, lights, electrical stuff. We've even got a bit of Starlink. What's that all about? Well, I'll tell you. We've got water stuff, we've got tons, and in this video I'm going to cover all of it, show you in a lot more detail what's happening, when and how, what problems we've had, what solutions we've come up with and stuff. So let's get ready, pick the trailer up, and then we'll go from there. So this is the trailer back from the fabricator, although it is going back to him again tomorrow, but I did need it to shoot this video, so I went and got it before he's 100% finished. However, most of it's done, or at least enough that you can see what some of the plans are. So, well, where do we start? Let's talk about this water tank first. Now, on the initial video I mentioned that I was going for a 110 litre water tank to match the camper van, and instead I ended up getting a larger one. This one's 120 or 125, I can't remember which. However, the reason I got it is because it matches the exact width of the trailer literally perfectly, so much so that we had to cut the lip off, re-weld it back on. We've put another lip on anyway, like an angle or whatever it's classed as. I'm not a fabricator, but this basically is then secured in place by a frame that comes around and it essentially encloses the water tank. Underneath that, we've then got some rubber sort of pads which stop it from sort of moving around and rattling or shaking or any of that sort of stuff. It keeps it in place perfectly. Now, because of the width being so perfect, that then allows us to put it just in front of the sort of axle as well, which is pretty much bang on for the weight distribution issues that a lot of you's raised. Thanks for that, by the way, because that led us to do a lot more research than I would have normally done. So that has been mounted. I will go and get the other bits and I'll explain what is going to happen with the water stuff, because, well, I've got most of it and I can explain it. Now, when it comes to filling the water tank, obviously it's got this big filler lid on there. That won't be getting used at all because, well, I don't really want to have to put a hose inside the trailer. So what I have got is, well, I bought this thing. Now, this is like a filler cap which will go on the outside as an example here. From there, that will then be connected to this tube. This tube will obviously be cut a lot shorter, which it will then go inside of this, which this will be then mounted in the tank. So essentially it'll look like that, flush to the side. It'll go in there and you fill it up from here, gravity takes it down and it comes into the tank from there. And then I'll bring the camera around and we'll have a look at how we then get the water back out of the water tank. Now, when it comes to actually getting the water back out of the water tank, well, that's where the water pump comes in. So this is the water pump that I went for. It's a Flojet R4300 500A, and it's a 3.7 gallon per minute, which I think is it's 17.5 litres per minute, roughly. But anyway, it should take around about 10 minutes to fill the camper van, hopefully. This will be mounted in here somewhere. Obviously, it'll be wired up. This pipe will go from here. I've got the hose, the connector that goes onto that. So the water will come in into the water pump. There'll be another hose on the outside, and then that will run all the way up to this. Now, this is basically, if I take that out, it's just like a hose pipe connector that you stick. This will be mounted in a small cupboard. Obviously, the pipe will come into this. Connect your hose pipe, whether you're having a bigger one so I can fill the camper van up, or just a small one to wash the dogs off. It'll clip into this. This will either be painted black or something, because obviously white doesn't match anything in here. So that's the water system. It's a filler cap down into the tank, tank from there into the water pump from there into this then to a hose pipe, and that should work in theory. I come up with all of that myself, and none of it's being tested, so I don't know whether it'll actually work, but hopefully it does, because if not, I'll be a little bit disappointed. Anyway, what we're up to next, lights. Now, running a business in 2022 is probably some of the hardest times to actually run a business. If you've got a fixed office somewhere, you've got gas and electricity bills which have just been soaring and are going to continue to soar. And well, today's video sponsor is there to help. Now, the energy procurement team will gather all the information you need to make an informed decision about what contracts are right for you as a business owner, whether that be longer term contracts, shorter term contracts, green deals, whatever it is. They'll present all of that to you for you to make that decision yourself. Now, they don't only just look at helping you procure new contracts. They've got an account management team there which is full of highly trained specialists that will go between suppliers if you ever do have an issue and make sure that they help sort that for you, so then, well, you can focus on what you do best, which is run your business. And finally, Direct Business Solutions also have a renewables team who are on hand to help you when you're looking to future-proof your business, whether that be through solar projects, battery storage projects, funding for renewable projects, or just project management. They've got experts in all of them areas that can help you when you're looking to push the business forward. So if you do need help in the complicated and confusing world of energy contracts, visit dbsne.com. One of the experts will be on hand to help. Request a call back, they'll give you a call, talk things through, find out what you're looking for, find out what you need help with, and then go from there. Back to the video. One of the other things that I definitely wanted to change was the lights. Trailer lights are just, well, they're pretty ugly, to be honest. So I did order some new ones, and this is actually the first time that I've put them up against the trailer, and now I look at it, I don't know whether the measurements or the spacing will be correct. So this is them anyway. The directional, there's two here, and the indicators scroll, and then these replicate loosely the ones on the back of the camper van, which is why I ordered them, because I think they'll fit quite nicely. They actually will fit in there, so that probably won't be a problem whatsoever. There might be a slight gap. Yeah, there might, but basically these are the ones I've bought. So I like them, I think they look nice, and like I say, they've got the little scrolly bits. One of the other things is because the camper van is a lot wider than this is, I can't actually see it when I'm driving. So I bought these, and I'm not sure whether I like these ones or not, so these might not stay. These are essentially sort of side markers which will go, I don't know, somewhere on here. They also have the scrolling indicator and whatnot. I don't know whether I like them. I am undecided. I like the look of them online, and they come and they're a bit cheap looking, so I'm not sure, but if I do put them on, they'll go on, I don't know, there, here, or there, or something. Hopefully be able to help us see the trailer a little bit easier when I'm driving. Not that it's much of a worry, because it is so narrow. Generally you don't need to sort of take turns any wider or anything, because it's a lot narrower than the camper van already is. Now, we've also went for a utility light. Now I've got 4 of these, so these will go on every corner. Maybe it's not the back, I don't know. But essentially, these will come through here. They'll be mounted on each side like that. And quite a wide arc of light, which will then help. If we could potentially put 2 on each side. I might do that. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 2 on each side. That makes a lot more sense. And that should give us quite a bit of area light, just for when you're working around here, or just on a night time you want to light everything up. Now, to control things like that, we've got the control unit. This is going to control everything electrical. This is it here. It's off Amazon. It's obviously cheap and cheerful. Little toggle switches, shows you your voltage, USB, and 12 volt. That will obviously be mounted to something which will be in here somewhere. You can turn the utility lights off, turn the water pump on and off, turn, well, anything else electrical on and off from this. So I've got that as well. All of this means, because I have got the battery and it is going to be all thingied up, we're going to have to change it to 13 pin, I believe, where currently it isn't. So the whole thing's getting rewired next, well, I think actually tomorrow they're starting to rewire the whole thing. Now also next week, what we are getting done is paint. It's getting done in Raptor paint. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you haven't, Google it. It's like hardware and sort of plasticky type paint, as far as I'm aware. But anyway, everything you can see here is getting done in that, including the arches and everything else. The last thing I want when I've got like eyelets here to attach the dog leads to and all the rest of it is stuff getting scratched. So that's getting done next week. Now, one of the other things that you may notice is these have been mounted on there, and that's because, well, we're getting a big pull-out table which will come all the way to here. It'll have a fold-down leg that you pop down, and that allows you the space to then cook outside. And finally, before we head inside, because it's definitely going to rain in a minute, well, basically we're going to have these. I've got 2 spare ones of these. These are just going to sort of sit in probably here in little brackets or little areas that fit these in, little boxes essentially. These are the spare toilet chemicals, which should double the amount of time we need, or treble the amount of time actually, because we've got 3 now, before we need to go and empty the chemical toilets. So let's have a look. We've been getting some new tyres and whatnot as well, which are all in the office, so we'll go in before this rain starts and have a look and talk through them. I've come inside because it started to rain. These are also going on. These are little sort of mesh vent things, metal ones, and they'll go where the dogs sleep, mainly just to let a bit of humidity and heat out and some fresh air in. I've also got these. These are chunky tyres. They're actually like a grass rally tyre, and they are rated heavy enough for what I need, but I'm not sure whether to run them or not yet. I'm a little bit undecided. Other than that, weight distribution seems to be bang on. We've calculated a lot. The frame actually only weighs 40 kilograms. Then obviously with the water in, the wood and all the rest of it, we've worked it out, and where everything's lying, it should sit nice. I'm sure we'll sharp find out once everything's in, when we start pulling it and seeing how that drives. Plan of attack is wiring gets done tomorrow and Sunday, because obviously we're converting it. We've got the battery in there, it's getting converted to 13 pin I think, and it's currently whatever the other thing is, 6 pin maybe. That gets done tomorrow. Wrap the paint next week. Hopefully that's done for Thursday. If that's done on Thursday, I'll collect it, then we can start dividing the insides of the trailer up, building the wood frame that'll go on the inside. The reason I've went for sort of metal on the outside is because it's not going to change on the inside. I didn't want metal frames in there, because then that kind of limits whatever you can do. If we want to change it further down the line, you're kind of stuck with what's in there. So having more of the outside frame metal and the inside wood, we can then sort of configure it however we want a little bit further down the line. I still haven't finished designing and drawing everything just yet. I'm going to try and do that a little bit later on today. I do know all the cupboards on the top end, they'll all be sort of lift up ones with gas struts. The back will be almost like a Range Rover type tailgate, where the bottom drops down so the dogs can get in, but the top one will also lift up on big gas struts as well. The roof box was meant to be here yesterday, but the company called Arrow XL, who deliver for roof box, who I've ordered it from, just says, well, there's been an error, so it's going to have to be next week, and it's tough shit basically, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I was hoping to have that to test fit today, but never mind, we'll have to wait till next week. I'm a little bit not stressed, I'm sweating because it's warm, but I just feel a little bit overwhelmed at the amount of stuff that's still to do. I think I've thought of most things. Like I say, we've even got like the leveling jacks on each corner. They still need to go on just to stabilise everything when the kids are in and the roof tent. I don't know if I've missed anything else. I don't think I have. It is going to be heavy to manoeuvre, so I'm looking at debating whether to get one of the sort of jockey wheels, like the motorised ones. I don't know. But this is this week's update really. There's obviously, maybe it doesn't look like there's been a lot, but believe me, it's been a long road to get it even just to this point. But I'm excited for it to be done. So thanks for watching. Hopefully next time it'll look different. Well, it'll have at least been painted, hopefully as a minimum, and some of the electrics in there as well. So yeah, see you next time.